Good evening, people. Goodness me, my picture looks absolutely frozen. Hold on a sec. What's going on? My picture is black. What? Can't see a damn thing. This is not an auspicious start to this. Is that working at all? Can you see me or hear me? Hey, is that working? Did we fix it? Did we fix it? Goodness me. I did pay my power bill. Nov mum. That's not an auspicious start, man. It's never happened before. What on earth? Right. Good evening, everybody. That was a little more dramatic than we needed to start. I've had kickoff 10 seconds into the game. I'm bloody hoping the Blues do not choke away a final here, mate. Folks, people, how are you all doing, man? The Blues just need to win. Simple as that. Simple as that. The Blues just need to win. That's it. They just need to win. They don't need to worry about bonus points. They don't need to chase the game. They just need to win. Goodness. How are we feeling? People are back in the force here. Naked ref up the force. Sam says go the force. War Thunder, Crusaders man desperately wants the force to get it done. Elaran says watch up. What on earth? No, surely not. Crusaders messed up. Happy days. Good evening, morning to all, including Grant. Yes, indeed. How's the crowd? I haven't seen it yet. How's my day been, Roger? Yeah, pretty good. Took the kids to the park to ride their bikes. My son's offered to remove his training wheels, which is a brave thing for him because he's been reluctant to do that thus far. April Tui, how's it going? Scrum for the force in their own half. As always, if you guys are ahead of me in the stream, I'm at 1 minute and 51 seconds. Please, no game-specific spoilers in terms of the details. You can tell us to look up, pay attention, that kind of stuff. Please, 2 minutes in. How was my son's first game? It was good. Lautaro's 4 a.m. in Argentina. Goodness me. Yeah, I think they lost. I thought they'd won. It was like, the coach at the end said it was 13-11 to the other team. Like, they only score tries which are worth 1 point. But, yeah, I thought they'd won because they play Ripper Rugby where they rip the tags off each other. And if they get 5 rips in a row, then they have to turn the possession over to the other team. So it's kind of like rugby league in that regard. That only happened once, and it was my son's team that managed to get the 5 rips, including my son who got the 5th one. Proud moment. But somehow, apparently, we still lost. I have no idea how that happens. 13 tries to 1. Yeah, theft. 13 tries to 11. The defense is usually pretty optional. Three minutes into the game, still a 0-0. Do we need a bonus point? Nah, just a win. Any win will do it. Did I tell my son to run it? He didn't actually get much ball because the kids don't really pass it unless they get their tags ripped. And I've noticed in terms of the scheme of the speed, my son would be lower mid-table. So he was often not the first guy to support the runners, but he did manage to pull a few tags. So defensively, he's on form. Offensively, still needs a bit of work. So I didn't get much chance to tell him to run it. He did enjoy his first game. A lot of running, though. A lot of running. Eno will have nightmares about that drop. I know, given the points difference. Yes. He's a defensive 13. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Or a flanker. There you go. Out on the full. Not an auspicious start that regard either. Handling errors. Anthony will cost the Crusaders. Yeah, and Will Jordan getting pulled into touch. There's probably a few moments, eh? I'm sure people will go ref hunting for that one, but I think the Crusaders probably had it in their own destiny. They seemed to chase the game a wee bit too early for mine, but I'll need to go and look at the numbers. I haven't done so yet. Could be the next fullback for the ABs, that's right. Reckon ticket prices will go up for the final? I hope not. Maybe. I hope they just want to get it full. Any trivia, Randy? Yeah, I do have some trivia. I'm about at 5 minutes. Still 0-all. Kind of tentative start, hey? Remember my first game I was playing, first year of tackle, got bowled? Yeah, I'm sure that happens. I heard one of the dads and mums talking down the sideline from me from my team. They were saying how they want their son to start league because league tackles from age 5. Whereas rugby doesn't start until like 8. I think under 7s are all ripper rugby, just the tags. But from 8 they can do tackle. Yeah. Do you think the final will be less full because it's not the Crusaders? I hope not, man. If Aucklanders can't get out and support their team for a final, which we never have, then something's wrong with us. Blues have just lost the ball in possession and are having to scramble back as the Force have kicked it through. Heem's going to have to get us out of jail, but he's slipped. Oh, God, he's being pushed back to about a metre out from his own line. We're going to get turned over here. No penalty. God, we need an exit. We're just... Oh, goodness me. They gave away tickets for the NPC final the other year. I went that year with the old man, actually. I don't know that they will go that far, but you're right. The same idea applies. I think they'll just try and get it full. They'll probably do the same thing with the whole bring a kid for like free or something to try and really pack out the house. At least I would hope so. I am at 6:45. Well, Thunder, 6:45. I reckon I could put up the score. It's there. There. That's the score. Blues looking shaky. They are looking like a team, which is trying pretty hard to choke. We'll see. Still early days, 7 minutes. Do they play overtime if tied? No, they do not. Only in the final. Blues can't handle the pressure. They are probably unaccustomed to being in a position of having to win to make a home final, that's for sure. Chat was covering it, no worries. Could be a nervous phobia game, you never know. Maybe I'll bust out the Chinese stuff. Surely not. Extremely happy when the Crusaders didn't get the result, Randy. Highlanders will be the happiest so far because they're guaranteed a spot. April 2, I just want to thank you for bringing Nisbo's pronunciation of hurricanes. Now you can't unhear it. I'm the same, Grant. I've never really noticed it before, but now I can't unhear it. We're busting out the long dongs. I wish we could get that beer over here. I did make the mistake of Googling it to try and find it once, but that's not a safe for work thing to be Googling. Did I see Tom Robinson's Sky Access? He is a proper character, George. He is a funny, funny guy. Very different from everybody else that was on All Access so far, that's for sure. Right, 8 minutes 41. Look up, says Randy. Watch out, says Nice Food Takeaways. It's scrum time. 8:50 on the clock. It's in the Blues half, although it is a Blues feed. So are they going to give away some silly kind of intercept, or have they got something? Have they got some kind of really elaborate move planned? Am I looking nervous? Flashing, man, I am nervous. I haven't been to Eden Park to see a final since like a ITM Cup game, but for the Blues, never. I don't think. Cross kick to Talia. Oh, he's clean through. Kahui's got him by the seatbelt. Oh, Satutu, he's going to have too much gas. Unbelievable. Okay. We'll take that. Take that. Nine minutes on the clock. So Tutu shows some proper wheels. It's a cross kick from Faiane to start it off. Cross kick to Talea out in all kinds of space. He does get brought down by Kahui, but the Blues go next phase. Rico gives an inside ball to Hoskins to Tutu, who puts the hammer down and goes over for a try. Ribsy says, Blues looking solid so far. Yeah, we'll take that. Right. Good pass by Rico. Yep. We'll take that. We'll take that. Opinion on Krevy playing for the Crusaders. Is that a possibility? Surely not. Old school jersey. Yeah. I busted this one out for the occasion. Blues need to release a retro jersey. Yeah, that would be cool, but they don't seem to do that thing. Macapac, I love the shirt, I'm a Canes fan, but I love those early jerseys. Yeah, Lomu and all those guys wore these bad boys. I think this is like the third year of Super Rugby they had this one on. Yeah. Kia ora, Carl. How you going, man? 7 points to nil. How nice is it to watch a game where the teams are wearing different jersey colours, eh? Satutu is a proper 8. That is true. Savia is a man who's been shunted to 8 to accommodate others. Paulo Matera, yeah. I think he's good news for the Crusaders, that's for sure. Was I at the 11 final, Shane? Nah, I didn't go to the 2011 final. I was living in China at that time, but I did come back to New Zealand for the World Cup. I got tickets to some of the pool games. So I saw the opener against Tonga. I saw the pool game against France. That was good. And then I saw a few other games. I went to see Italy and Australia with my Aussie mate. That was a bit of a grind for him. Actually, the first half was pretty ugly. And I went to see Fiji and Samoa, which was just god-awful. That was a horrible match. On paper, that's a brilliant match, right? But that was terrible. See any others? I feel like I saw one more. Oh, the match. Australia and Ireland at Eden Park, where Ireland got that win. Yes, that's the other one I saw. Hard to work up energy to tune in to the Aussie teams. Getting pasted endlessly, but yeah, the Rebels played half decent against the Crusaders. There were times when the Crusaders was battering their defence, but they still kept holding, and I was quite impressed because they didn't have anything on the line. You could be forgiven for just going, oh, bugger it. Can't be bothered getting up. Oh, was it the Fiji Samoa and it was bad? Yeah, Randy, it was bad. It was really bad. I'm at 13:35. Did I see Sonny Bill take his shirt off? Why do I feel like I've got a photo of that? Or is that just my memory? Can't wait for the World Cup to return to New Zealand, South Hawks. It might be a while for the men's one anyway. 10 phases for the Blues. Come on, boys. 5 meters out. Oh, no. The Force have just turned it over. That Australia-Ireland match never happened. You imagined it. Yeah, maybe that's why I couldn't really remember it. Fiji Samoa match 2011 Cup was definitely lackluster since Fiji squad didn't have any team culture. Don't blame the Fijian fans for not wanting to talk about 2011. Makapaka had Satutu as the first try scorer. If you have money on that, then congratulations. 10 years since that World Cup. I know, right? Things have changed since then. Can't see New Zealand hosting another men's World Cup on their own. There's not as much money in it, Starleo. That's exactly why I came back from China to watch the World Cup, because I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen again, and certainly not for a long time. Got the Women's World Cup soon. It was supposed to be this year, but they called it back a year. Blues, I hate to say it, are doing okay so far. They've not looked too threatened, but they've been turned over a few times. What kind of name is Zahn? Yeah, Zahn. I don't know. People come up with interesting names for stuff these days. Only $10, but he was paying $15 for the first try. There you go, Makapaka, man. Happy days. What an era to live in with the ones who got to host the World Cup. Lucky ones who got to go to live between 87 and 2011. Yeah, I didn't get to go to 87. I was a wee bit young. Zahn has big thighs. Probably helps him kick the ball harder. Right, come on, Blues. 16 minutes in. We're 7-0 up, but we could use another score. Definitely. New Zealand deserves to host the World Cup. I think we did a pretty good job of it, but I think they've made money more than that World Cup since, and then more again after. In 2015 made more, and then 2019 made more again. So, yeah. Aileron went to some of the games in 87. Nice. Did you go to any in 2011? You didn't exist for 87. Excuses, man. Excuses. You, Randy and his excuses. Super random, but the most insane match I ever watched was Madagascar beating Namibia 57-54 in the 2012 Africa Cup in Madagascar. Packed out a 20,000 stadium too. That's amazing. I would have never thought of that, man. Amazing. November was at intermediate in 87, had zero interest in rugby. Yeah. I wasn't even in primary school. Wasn't too far away, but yeah. My dad probably went. My bro's name is Zane, unusual name in 53, and my bro was given heaps of grief for 4 years. Yeah, well, Zane's probably a common name now. Maybe Zam will be in a few years as well. I don't think Barrett's going to play in the final, South Hawks. I don't think they would do that. I don't think he's available. I'm pretty sure he's not available. This sabbatical clause was like no games for the Blues. Strawn's down, looking a wee bit worse for wear. I think he caught a hip to the head, so yeah, he's going off. Rob Carney's going to come on. Gareth is saying he have a beer makes me want one, but it's 9:30. I think you'll have one. Cheers, man, if you crack one open. How's the games going so far, Dan? I feel like the Blues have been in control for the most part, but they've only managed to convert the once. They've been pretty well turned over by the Force or knocked it on other times. Victoria, evening from... How is your managed isolation going? I think USA would make more money than a New Zealand World Cup. I think New Zealand is probably the lowest one you will make money from because we just don't have big stadiums. Like in terms of ticket revenue. I know it's more about the broadcasting stuff that makes the majority of the cash, but New Zealand's far to get to. Small stadiums. Time zone doesn't work for everybody. Yeah. I think France is going to be a pretty nasty time zone for us Kiwis at the next World Cup. Japan was okay. It was kind of a lot of late night games. '87, I didn't even know there was a World Cup. More interested in Western Province. Well, makes sense because you guys weren't in the '87 tournament, eh? Strawn is looking really, really worse for wear. I hope he's alright. Probably good news there's no game. Oh, well, they're playing Bay Plenty, aren't they? He ain't going to be playing next week. Food's great, managed isolation. Good to hear, Victoria. Good to hear. It'd be nice to see Argentina get one, I agree, Naked, because it's good rugby culture and never had a World Cup, so that would be true. Time zone isn't too bad to Japan for Australia, New Zealand, but that's bad for Europe, UK. Someone always loses out. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. We're like 12 hours difference here from the UK and Europe, depending on whether it's daylight savings or not. So if they decide to play a bunch of games at like 3 in the afternoon, then that's going to be not pleasant for us Kiwis, because that'll be 3 in the morning. But if they can make some games a wee bit later, if they make the 7 o'clock in the evening kickoffs, not too bad. Pretty decent, really. Thoughts on the Wallabies selection tomorrow? They're not going to broadcast it here, which I'm pretty gutted about. I was kind of hoping they would broadcast it, but they are not. James, man, how's it going? We're going good. 17 minutes into this game. The Blues only need a win to qualify as the home host finalists, but it's still just the one score. Yeah, it depends on what kind of time they play the games as to whether it'll be pretty hairy for New Zealand or not. A lot of the European games I watch are on at pretty bad times, to be honest. There's a lot of 4 o'clock in the morning stuff going on, which is not ideal. Do you reckon Dave Rennie will make some surprising picks? I'm sure he'll have a few bolters for sure. Force a goal advantage. Going back for it. Problem with Argentina stadiums and the organisation. The last time we organised a major event was the Copa America in 2011. That's a long time ago, mate. Long time ago. All the AB games are 9 p.m. kickoffs. Well, that works well for New Zealand. Stan has live broadcasts of the squad. I saw that, Elora. That's why I was looking for Sky. Sky, do you have it? They don't have the Japan versus the Sunwolves game today. They don't have the Wallaby squad tomorrow. Yeah, not good. Rob Valtini's guaranteed. Rob Valtini's had a cracker. Harry Wilson's had a very good season. Plenty of loosies. I hope Fergus Lee Warner gets in, but he's not going to get in. He'd be my one bolter that I'd love to see get a crack. Doesn't work well for New Zealand given they're all work hours New Zealand time. Well, naked ref, man, come on, take the day off work. Priorities. Last World Cup I took a month's annual leave, I think. My boss thought I was a moron. Didn't tell her I had a YouTube channel, but yeah. At least take the AB's days off. Call in sick, something like that. Vunivalu's injured. I think he's out for the French series, so he won't be picked. I have seen Jimenez's feed on Twitter. He's yeah, it's good stuff. Very positive vibes. Good for him to be in a final. That's awesome that he comes to play for the Highlanders and he gets in a final. Oh, thank God the Blues just turned the ball over. They were hot under the pressure there. But God, what are we trying to run the ball out from our own post for, man? Come on, man. Just get rid of the bloody thing. A lot of officers will have the games on. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm in the UK, mate. I got a pool pack for all our games. You got priorities in order. Good man. We host the under-20s Rugby World Cup in 2019, but with smaller stadiums with less crowd. Right. I guess that could be like a bit of a practice run, but... I'm generally here for the 2 a.m. game, so no complaining, says Hollywood. Yeah, that's fair enough. If you want to watch the game, you find a way to make it work, eh? You got to find a way to make it work. Big tackle. It was Paddy Tuipulotu and then Kauli Tuioti with a turnover. Good stuff from our lock and duo. Still 7-0, so it's still very much uncomfortable times at the moment. Blues are not interested in kicking the ball. They want to keep the ball in hand, which is interesting. Maybe this time. Black looks like he's going to put boot to it, and he does. Yeah, I believe Hooper is available for selection. Most of the guys who've come back from Japan for either the Wallabies or for New Zealand should be available because the Japanese season is done. A lot of those guys will be off contract. Like to see how productivity falls when New Zealand plays. Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing. Table looks beautiful. At the moment it does. But man, 7 points is still far from comfortable. Peter Steph Tutoy is off to Japan next year. Is he really, Adam? There's been rumours about him for an age. Aileron, I believe Retallick is available to be selected. That's what Gaza told me, if that's a reliable source. Hooper's supposed to be at the live presentations. He's a lock for captain still. They're paying him too much money to not make him captain. Surely. Oh, there's the table. Played 5, won 5, points 23, 23, 23. Goodness me. All right, we'll do trivia because they're faffing about with something. What do we got? What is the farthest city, so the most far away, the farthest city in the world from London? Farthest city in the world from London. Invercargill, Auckland, Christchurch. Randy got it first. Oh, Aileron got it first. It is Dunedin. Dunedin. There you go. Funnily enough, being on a Spates bottle cap, it's Dunedin. Randy got it. Aileron was the first. Randy got it. And so did Stephen. So did April Tui. So did Daramundi. That's actually one of the better quiz questions, eh? Yeah, some of them have been pretty average. Dunedin shouldn't even count as a city. Well, when the student population's there, I'm sure the population's a lot bigger than when they're not there. Of course it was Dunedin, it was Spates, exactly right. Right, come on Blues, please. Can we do something? Tupolotu wins the ball, line out time. Papali is playing halfback. Christie. Hodgman. If you dig a hole from Auckland, you come up from Madrid. I have heard that before, actually, eh? There were some students here in Auckland and one in Spain that did something where what did they do? They stood on exactly opposite sides of the earth at the same time or something. Oh, the Force have turned us over again. Should do your own quiz and mark live chat Friday night rugby quiz. Yeah. Although, interestingly, before the days of smartphones where you could look up the answer to anything, when I was a teacher, for my last class of the semester, when I was teaching at a uni in China, I used to make it a quiz. Quizzes are a pain in the bum to prepare. That's a lot of work, but they are very fun. I had to kind of stop doing them because at that stage kids were starting to get... That was just around the time that smartphones were really becoming kind of commonplace and everyone would just Google the bloody answers. Sounds like a Gaza segment. Gaza's quiz night. I'm not sure that Gaza would be the ultimate quizmaster, to be honest. I did once, even longer before that, before I was even finished at uni. I went to a pub quiz at AUT, which is one of the universities here that my mates were going to, and there was a rugby question. I didn't know the answer, so I sneakily tried to call my father under the table. I was busted by the quizmaster, so I didn't get any points for it anyway, but the answer that Gaza gave me was wrong. So, it didn't matter. Right, everyone's saying watch out, look out. Okay. It's the Force on defense, so I'm optimistic here the Blues are going to do something. Gaza could be the adjudicator, there you go. Come on, folks, 7 phases. Robinson. We're inching up, getting over that advantage line, phase by phase. That's 9 phases. Goes back the other way, out to the backs. There's space out wide. It's a pretty shocking pass, but Talia has got enough gas to go over for another try for the Blues. Goodness gracious me, it came. It took a wee while. Wasn't the best pass from Rico, but it's enough. Whew. 60 minutes away from a final. There's still plenty of rugby to be played, but that's a good start. If the Blues win the final, are you going to have any special celebration? I haven't thought about it, man. The last time the Blues won anything was the Brisbane, what was it, Tens? What were they playing? That's kind of dumb tournament that was like, do we really need this tournament? It's 12-0. I'm just waiting to see if Black kicks the conversion. Come on, Otere. You can do this. He's nailed it. It's 14 points to 0, people. Unbelievable. During the final, go full G-man on us. If we get the final, man, I want to go to the final A. I'll be searching for tickets as soon as they are available. Crusaders titles in 2020 and this year, I don't know. I think it'll be Super Rugby Aotearoa titles. I don't think we can count it as regular Super Rugby titles. It'll be a bit different. Pure attack from both teams in the last game to a game with strong defence shows how two different rugby games can be. I very much agree, man. It's one of the reasons I like the sport, as you can set up teams to legit play in totally different ways. I mean, look at the Rebels at the start of this season. They just kicked penalties. They didn't even really go for tries. Anytime they got a penalty, they just took it. So, yeah, I love that. I love that. Where is the final? It'll be at Eden Park if the Blues can hold on to this result. Otherwise, it'll be at Forsyth Bar if the Blues manage to throw this one away. If the Blues win, it's the Blues against the Highlanders at Eden Park. If the Blues lose, it's the Highlanders against the Crusaders at Forsyth Bar. We didn't want to win this comp. That's why Enor dropped the ball. We only want to win the proper ones. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they were thinking, eh? Wayne says Highlanders versus Blues final, no Crusaders. The only way you can beat the Crusaders to a Super Rugby title is if you don't have to play the Crusaders. No quarantine between Australia and New Zealand. No, April 2, they don't. Except at the moment, I think Victoria is still not able to have flights because of lockdowns there. But I haven't followed the latest. Looks like Robinson's going to come off because he took a bit of a knock there. So Akira Ioane is going to come on. It's the only way the Blues can win a comp by not having to play the Crusaders. Exactly right. 100%. 100% right. Box versus Lions predictions. Man, I think it's a bit too early. I need to see the Box against Georgia and then how the Lions go in their warm-up games. I think then we'll have a better idea. Let's go for no razor breakdancing, indeed. Will Robinson get a crack at the ABs? I don't think so. I think we've got too many good Lucies, but he's certainly doing really well. When's the AB selection going to be announced? I'm not actually sure. They haven't set a date as far as I'm aware, but I would imagine after the final of this comp. Victoria's slowly getting out of lockdown, can't leave the state. Right, thanks for the update, Danny. I'm sure it's been in the news, I just haven't watched it much recently. That's what happens when we don't play Peter Feta. Zahn Sullivan seems to pretty much established himself as the fullback, eh? Box chances are slim. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Rossi and Jacques have kept things pretty stable. Oh, what a kick from Zahn Sullivan. Unbelievable, that one. Proper mature kick there. No Robertson breakdowns, indeed. Sunwolves are leading the Japanese at the moment. I guess, I would say keep me updated. Some people might want to watch it, but I guess if you wanted to watch the Sunwolves game, you'd be watching it right now. I don't have access to the Sunwolves game at the moment. Oh, the Blues have even gone ahead and won that line out. Attacking time. Look up, people say. All right. Come on. If you missed that, Zahn Sullivan kicked the Blues into the Force 22 with a kick which was just like 1 metre short of the touchline. The Force had the line up, the Blues stole it. Now the Blues have got advantage attacking about 5 metres out from the Force's line. Oh, and Papali'i's gone over after 5 phases. I think we can breathe, people. I think we can breathe. Guys are just envious of that boogie. That was a kid that stole it. Sajuda's swivel pass was class, indeed. Starting to relax. Yes. Try time, baby, says Michael. Yeah, so far so good. AB squad selection. Yeah. I reckon. I'm a bit torn as to whether I do it before or after Steve picks his squad. Fat lady's wailing out of tune. 21-0 is not insurmountable, but it's looking pretty decent. Ali says, come on the Force. Just give us this one. Please. I beg you. Will DMAC make the squad? I think so. I'm not sure how big the squad's going to be, actually, but I reckon he will. Ireland's is Monday. Okay. England's have named theirs. Australia's tomorrow. So, yeah, next week could be pretty busy with squad announcement videos as well. It's too big. He had to force it. McIntyre's had to force it. It's more chance of it raining on the sun than the Force winning this game. Flashin's pretty confident. Force no good with McIntyre. I prefer Miotti personally, but yeah, he couldn't give Rico a sniff there. Gazza, the host of the live stream for the final. I wonder if he'd know how to set it up. I suppose I could set it up for him if my mum was able to kind of push the buttons. That'd be funny. They had to force it. Theft. I see what you did there. I see that. Low or high scoring game for the final. They're generally pretty tight, eh? But oh, the Blues have just knocked it on. Brutal. Come on, Force, try a long-range field goal. Chip away at it at threes, you reckon? Seven drop goals and it's an even game. Ooh. Watch up, people are saying. Christie. Get it to Akira. Heems brought down. Quick ball. Kali Toyota is playing scrum half. Gets it to Akira. Come on, guys. Another one. Come on, give us another one. Slow ball. Very slow. Ooh, here we go. Bounce pass. Papali is dragging on the ground. Am I that far behind you guys? Have you always seen what's going to happen here? Surely it's a Blues try. And it's a 2-2 again. 2 tries for him. That does seem like game over, doesn't it, folks? The Blues are not choking it. The Blues are doing a pretty good job. Seem way behind. I seem like I'm more behind than normal, to be fair. Mama 2 Cents likes the live stream as much as Gaza does. She seems to, eh? Yeah, she quite likes it. Cora says, I've never been more excited for the Blues to win a game. Suck it, Crusaders. Still love the Chiefs. We'll take that. Oh, man. Gaza and Mama 2 Cents to host the final. I can ask them. I'd have to show Mum how to operate this because Gaza's got no chance. I could set everything up. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You push a couple of buttons, but it would be like my parents to leave it running and just start swearing off camera and stuff. Don't know. My mum wouldn't. My dad would swear. Mum's not much of a potty mouth. 28 points to 0. Robinson failed his HIA. That's bad news. He'll have to go through the return to play stuff, so not good news at all. Wouldn't you and Gazza be going to the final? I don't think Gazza will go, man. I guess because he's in his 70s now, and he tends to pick up just minor bugs, and he takes ages to get rid of them. He's really reluctant to go out at night. He doesn't want to go anywhere at night. Worries about being cold, and Eden Park is really cold and windy, even if you get a decent seat. It is half time. Pretty dominant half from the Blues, you would have to say, folks. Oh, El Ryan, you don't want to see Gaza if we start losing. Goodness me. We always get a halftime Gaza story. When are we going to get Mama one? I'll have to ask him, eh? I'll have to ask him and her what she can tell us. I'm sure she's got some stories about Gaza, that's for bloody sure. Eden Park is cold in summer. Yeah, honestly, because most of it's in the shadows, and if at night time, obviously, it's just cold and drafty, eh? It's really, really quite... If it's not a full crowd, it's quite unpleasant, which is most of the time at Blues games, but if it's pumping and there's a good crowd, it's a really good vibe. My father's never used the internet. He doesn't even understand what it is. He's not even that old. That is... that's pretty frustrating. Gaza he's kind of smartphone savvy now, but that's about it. He Googles everything. Half time now for a Mark story. I've already, I don't know. Let me have a look at the stats first. I forget what I've told you guys. I've told you guys most of my stories, I reckon. How many live streams have we done? A fair few. Told you that my Gazza didn't want to have dinner on my birthday out because the rugby was on. Cheeky sod. Oh, what happened to the Bristol and London Irish game? Has that been cancelled? Very happy for you in the Blues. 2 cents, Craig. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. We're doing pretty well. Possession 65-35. Territory 71-29. It has been all Blues. Run meters 283-83. Lineouts, man. The Blues are 5 from 5. The Force are 6 from 10, which is pretty horrendous. Yeah. If it's any consolation, I'm still at least 90 seconds behind me. Handra, how does that even happen? How does that even happen? Looks like a Blues and Landers final. It does. And they should, someone mentioned it to me before in the comments, they should both wear their blue jerseys just to make it fun. Black and Christie are going to be All Blacks. You reckon? Maybe. I don't know. I still reckon they'd be down the pecking order a wee bit. Forced to come back. Amric, I can't see it, mate. I can't see it. Can't see it. Are we going to win, Carl? I think we are. I think we are. Last night's double whites was awful, Victoria. Honestly, I was so mad about that. How the hell do they keep doing that? It's just like mind-blowingly dumb, eh? I think just some of the New Zealand teams like the Hurricanes and now the Highlanders, just because they have different sponsors on their away jerseys, they are like contractually obligated to wear them X number of times. So, yeah. Will they play Bowden Barrett in the finals? Nah, Flying Kiwi. I can't see it. I don't think he's available, eh? Pretty sure no. I'd be rude if he did, man. I'd be pissed off if he did, honestly. You can't just come along for the final. That's too cheeky. Charlotte, yeah, we're doing all right. 28-0. We've been absolutely dominant in the first half. We've hardly looked under pressure. In terms of like keeping the blood pressure and stuff under control, it's been a pretty comfortable one. Legally, he's unavailable. Theft, I thought I'd heard something about that as well. Like his contract's, yeah, not part of the Blues squad, so he's not pickable. Who's doing the halftime analysis? They've just started it. It looks like it's Jeff Wilson and some other people. I'm just going to quickly grab another beer. So, yeah. Where do you think they'll play Bowden and RTS? Bowden at 10. And then Black's in trouble. Jez the Master Reviewer. How's it going, man? We're going to grab a beer and Scooter. We'll be back in just a tick. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. We can grab some more trivia. How good was that first half? Pretty dominant, man. Pretty dominant. Pretty dominant. Have we had this question before? I'm not sure. Not sure. Which horse won the 2011 Melbourne Cup? Have we had this question before? Where's Matt Duffy? I think he went overseas, didn't he? Red rum. Apparently it's not red rum. We did have a horse question of some kind, yes. I don't remember if... Yeah, Theft's got it. Dunadan. Yeah. So we pretty much had one answer was Dunedin for the previous question. This one's Dunedin. So there you go. That's the theme. Well done, Theft. Jezza hates horse racing. I feel like horse racing is one you need to gamble on it for it to be watchable, right? Surely. But I don't know why. I can't say the same is true with like Formula One. I can quite happily watch Formula One without having to gamble on it. I don't know why that works. Far lap, yeah, that's getting a bit back in the day. How good would a Landers Crusaders final in Dunners be, Josh? Almost as good as a Landers Blues final up here at Eden Park. Just saying. Looking forward to next week, man. At this rate, I mean, the Blues could still mount the choke of all chokes, but surely not. Surely not. William says, go Blues, you can do it. Yes, I hope so. Formula One, says Gareth. Yeah, I haven't followed it for a few years, but I reckon if I turned it on, I could sit here and have a beer and quite happily watch it. I don't know as many of the drivers now, that's for sure. Japan's making a comeback. I'm sure this game is not on in New Zealand. Hey, let's go back and have a look. We got Super Rugby, we've got the NBL, which is basketball. We got netball, NRL, Super Pole, which I guess is bikes, golf, Euros, NBL, Fox News, ESPN's got baseball, and then AFL. No sign of the Sunwolves on the telly here. Jeff Wilson, that guy's awesome. He just signed a public letter to Sport New Zealand about women's sports. I recommend you all read. I have not seen it. I'll have to have a look. If any would choke hard, it'd be the Blues. You never know, honestly. But anyway, Braden Ennors Butterfingers. Brutal, eh? He's going to have nightmares about that one. Old man Willie boy, Craig, how's it going? Stopped watching Formula One when it became the queue behind the German. Off to work before a day at Sandy Park. Nice one, man. Have a good one. Do you ever watch the AFL, Nathan? No. It's not really a thing over here. I worked with one Aussie guy who was a Collingwood fan. Like that's, I would say, since I've been back in New Zealand since 2014, apart from my aunt who lives in Melbourne and comes over occasionally, I've had one interaction, like one person to interact with about AFL. It's just not a thing, eh? Looks like I need that ticket for next week, Chris. Oh, I reckon I'll get one, eh? I think the tickets will sell pretty well. I don't think it'll be hard to get them if you get in. Surely. So much respect for motorcyclists, no protection from the car. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that, mate. Hell no. Haven't kept up to date with the format. Who are the Blues playing in the final? Finlay, assuming they don't blow a 28-point lead, it'll be the Blues and the Highlanders next week. Don't the Blues have a very good record against the Landers at Eden Park? I think they do. I remember when we kept losing games, the only team we could beat was the Landers. So we drew with the Chiefs for a while, but yeah. What about Rugby League? Not much, man. I didn't watch Origin. I don't really watch the Warriors. I won tickets to a Warriors game about 2017. Took my old man to watch a game at Mount Smart. But yeah. Yeah. East Collingwood. I know. My aunt is a big Bulldogs fan. My grandmother was a Essendon fan. I'm assuming I've got some relatives in Brisbane, so I'm assuming that, what is that, Lions? I guess. But yeah. Take on watching extreme sports. I'm not really fussed. Not really fussed on the extreme sports for mine. I should do a video on that, like other sports that we watch, because everyone has their kind of set of sports that they like. Test match cricket, maybe back in the day when I had more time on my hands. Am I going to go to the AB's game at Mount Smart against Tonga? I did see they have tickets on sale, but I haven't investigated yet. I did see the All Blacks play Tonga in 2019. So I might kind of save the budget for other games maybe, because that one was a bit of a hiding. Rowing. Rowing can be a bit tense, but you only really watch that at the Olympics. NHL streams. Yeah, I have been watching a bit of the NHL recently. The Isles are playing Tampa Bay on Monday, and it's looking like a pretty hard series, to be fair. Sailing, it's jurisdiction theft. I've never really been into the sailing. Esports, fleshing. I can't really do esports. Nope, not fussed on esports at all. Nadal's reign in Paris is over for now. I haven't been watching the tennis, unfortunately. John McKee saying the Force sat on their heels in that first half. Yeah, they were pretty passive, it has to be said. Nets or Bucks? No idea. Not fussed about either. Legit, neither. Either. Whatever. Come back from washing the dishes and see the Force have been buried. Big V8 show. Yeah, the Blues are looking pretty comfy at the moment. It has to be said. Cora's got tickets for the Bledisloe. Yeah. That should be good. Hopes for Aussie Rugby Dash. Come on, Big V8 show. Let the Blues have this one, man. Get behind the next game. And hope the Chiefs drop a second one. Oldie says, go the Blues. Exactly right. Go the Blues. Used to watch sports, cricket, golf, and even Dota were up there. Now I have a baby. Rugby's anyone left? Brian, I'm pretty much in a similar boat for you, mate. Yeah. Once you get that baby, those children, it becomes tougher. But I am trying to get the kids into watching with me. Before, when I was watching the previous game, the Crusaders and Rebels one, I had both of the kids here at one point. That was pretty nice. Although my son had to bring his Transformers with him. He kept trying to battle me, and I was trying to half battle him and watch the game at the same time. And my daughter had a book that she was just kind of, she can't read, but she was flicking through the pages. Albert, man, we're going good. Second half has just got underway in the Blues against the Force. The Blues need any kind of win to be home finalists next week in this competition. 28 points to 0 ahead. We're looking comfortable at the moment. Oh, sorry, Cora. Go Chiefs. Go the Chiefs. How was my boys' game, Victoria? And Jez's nephew's taking it up. He's only 6. Yeah, Jez, my son's 5. He played his first game today. I honestly thought they'd won. I went home thinking they won, and we got a text from the coach thanking us for attending and saying that we lost 13-11. So, yeah. My boy did all right. He's good at ripping the old tags off. But they're honestly just, both sides are just a swarm of bloody bees. They just kind of chase the ball around. They've got not much idea. But I will say the coach's kid, I don't know if he goes to athletics club or something, but he is flipping lightning. Anytime he got the ball for our side, he scored a try. Part of me was kind of thinking, just give the ball to him every time and we will definitely win this game. But then I have to remember, it's 5-year-olds. Just let all them have a bloody turn, including my own kid. Let him have a turn. Otherwise, it's not much fun. Did some kids go the wrong way? My son started going the wrong way until the coach was like, no, go that way. So, yeah. The Chiefs are already out of it, Elron, so forgive me for that one. Did my boy score a try, Stalio? No, he didn't score a try, but he proved much more adept at grabbing the tags, which is actually one area most of the kids really struggle. Defensively, they're really poor, those 5-year-olds. They can't grab tags to save their lives. Terrible. Terrible. South Hawks reckons we got this one in the bag. I hope so, man. We've just conceded a penalty, so you never know. Simon, how you doing, man? Yeah, we've still got just under half of the game to go. So he's a forward. Defensive player. Yeah, he's definitely a defensive player. Mate, 5-year-olds are useless. Absolutely useless. Who would have them in their team, man? Hopeless. Hopeless. What's funny is most of them are wearing soccer boots as well, because I went to the sports store here. Oh, the Rebels. The Forces lineup is shocking. They've got like one section with rugby boots, of which there's like one choice in sizes from kids to adults. It's like $110. And then there's like 10 sections of soccer football boots. So everyone is wearing $20, $30 soccer boots. I guess nobody cares. It's 5-year-olds, right? Who cares? What are the tags, Gareth? Oh, at this age, they're not allowed to play tackle at 5 years old. So they wear a little elastic band around their hips, not around their chests. Velcro straps around their waist. And then they've got tags hanging from the Velcro. So to tackle someone, you rip the tag off them. If they get their tag ripped, they've been tackled. That's kind of how it goes. It's called Ripper Rugby. $110, exactly, Nov Mum. So nobody was wearing the 110 rugby boots for 5-year-olds. Everyone was wearing the cheap football boots. In South Africa, we tackle and play barefoot until under 14s. Very different, Albert. We have to be in boots. You have to have the club shirt, club shorts, club socks. You have to have a mouth guard. I think that's it. You can't play without boots, you can't play without a mouth guard, and you can't play without the right kit. Indeed. Ripper Rugby, exactly, Cora. In South Africa, we tackle from the start but play barefoot. Yeah, one of the other parents I said earlier was saying to one of the other parents that the league kids, the rugby league kids, play tackle from the start. It's all about safety, that's right. Honestly, watching the 5-year-olds play, you'd be amazed that New Zealand's actually good at rugby, but I guess they'll get better as they get older. It must be quite a change to go from barefoot to playing booted, Brian, mate. That would be quite... I imagine the 8-year-olds who start playing tackle probably have a tough time. I'll be interested if my son wants to play tackle when he's 8. I'll leave it up to him, but he can opt for tackle if he likes. They do weight divisions, though. If he's really light, you can play like under 35 kilo group or something. In the US, we don't have crap. I'm sure you've got other sports. Screw playing rugby barefoot. That'd be a weird one, eh? I mean, is the track pretty dry? Because New Zealand, it's just mud. Most of the fields are pretty muddy. That's why you need the boots. So, yeah. Will I send my son to Auckland Grammar if he likes rugby? There's no way my son's going to Auckland Grammar. Not a chance. I played lock for the under 60 kgs in Auckland back in high school. There you go. The weight classes, right? Is bull rush still a thing, Wayne? As far as I'm aware, bull rush is still a thing. It was when I was a young man, anyway. Winters are dry, game is faster barefoot. Right, yeah, winters are wet here, so barefoot rugby would be atrocious. If we had grass, we were lucky, says Albert. Right. Yeah, very different climate. New Zealand winter is generally pretty wet and miserable. Good rugby weather, I guess. Is Miotti playing? He's on the bench, mate. He's on the bench. I don't think he's come on yet. It's McIntyre who's starting. If the Force score here, this gets a little bit interesting. Try. What? Don't ruin your children by sending them to private school. Grammar's a public school. Auckland Grammar's a public school, but it's a very prestigious public school. Wow. The Force have just scored. First try of the second half. Are the wheels starting to come off, or am I getting worried about nothing? Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere, that one. Doesn't Auckland Grammar have the most All Blacks? Probably. I used to work part-time on the weekends at a car wash in Epsom, and most of my classmates were, not classmates, my colleagues were grammar boys, and they were very different from my high school's boys, I'll put it that way. Right, 28-7, only 3 more tries to go, indeed. Are we getting worried yet, Blues fans, or are we still pretty confident with that? Still lots of time to play. In South Africa, they definitely play barefoot at that age. Yeah, no, barefoot. They wouldn't do barefoot. It would be you'd be falling over every 2 seconds if you played barefoot here. Because, like I said, it's just really wet and muddy, depending on the quality of the field you get to. Any winter sports I played when I was a kid, it was always pretty wet. OHS looking decent in 1B. I haven't been following OHS, man. But that's good. Good to hear. The old school. Still doing good. Geez, that was a terrible line out. That's not straight. Come on, ref. Yeah, you need to call that. Barefoot is for the... Yeah, you barefoot maybe for touch rugby in summer, for sure. And the mud can be literally freezing cold. Running barefoot in that. Exactly, Simon. Yeah, you would not want to play barefoot in New Zealand. They won't even allow you to play in shoes. No, you've got to be boots. Rugby boots. You can be never sure with the Blues, Charlotte. I know. No, but Grammar good at rugby. Sacred Heart, Kings, Auckland Grammar. They've all generally got pretty good rugby teams, yeah. I love the look of the Force coach just kind of side-eyed the camera because he knew he was on. SLA made a great change last 5 years, South American structure. I have not been following the South American League, but it's good that it's being played, I'll tell you that much. There's no better way to improve the game than getting more guys to play at the top level. And get them to... preferably get paid to do it. Wellington College and St. Pat's in Wellington. Yeah, Hamilton Boys High, Christchurch. There's those 2 schools. Yeah, there's a bunch of good schools. barefoot equals prickles. Yeah, that's true. More in summer though, right? Where do the Auckland high school players go? School rugby hasn't translated much to success for the clubs and promises the last decade. A lot of them go and play club rugby, A few of them get picked up from club teams if they don't get immediately into like an academy side. Yeah, a lot of them go play club rugby, but yeah, a lot of them just stop playing, Christchurch boys and Christ College. There you go, that's it. How many points for a win without a bonus point? Harris, that's 4. 5 if you get the bonus point. 4 if you don't get the bonus point. Come on, Blues. Let's restore that 28-point lead. To Leah. Oh, forward pass. Otherwise, Tutu could have had a third. Zachary, live Labath logo man. How's it going? Christie or Hall is the up-and-coming AB's 9. It can't be Hall. I don't think. He's a good form, but I think if his ship was going to come, it would have come by now. I think it's probably sailed at his age, personally. Some of the guys from my school have made Pacific Island national teams, but were not good enough to produce All Blacks. Is that right? Love the Blues front row mustaches. Tuina Kwafe's got the best one. He's definitely got the best one. Funny how the Blues don't have the best teams in New Zealand considering they have the top schools. George, that's interesting since they got rid of the whole recruiting zones thing. It used to, when Super Rugby was first set up, each of the franchises had their own recruiting zones, but now you're just allowed to, for years you've been able to recruit from just anywhere. So they reckon that the other teams do a really good job of scouting the Auckland schools, whereas the Blues do a really bad job of scouting the rest of the country, which sounds like an arrogant Auckland thing to do. So, yeah. Will Christie play for Scotland or New Zealand? If he doesn't get called up for New Zealand, you'd think he might eye Scotland, But Scotland have called up a few new halfbacks in their squad at the moment, so don't know. TJ will come back and probably sit behind Webber in the halfbacks for the ABs. That might be right, Emmerich, mate. Those guys are all late 20s, early 30s, though, if you include Smith, so they do need to blood somebody else at some point. Oh, turnover for the Force. Blues are still scoreless after 14 minutes and 10 seconds. I had a mate who was supposed to go to the Wasps, but almost got wrecked his ACL and got dropped. That kind of stuff can happen as well, man. That's true. Always sad, but true. Carl Tuinukuafi's story is pretty epic. Yeah, how he was a bouncer and eventually managed to get back to rugby. The guy who used to go to my high school a long time after I left it, Andrew Makaleo, is the same. I think he finished rugby in school and then did some other stuff and then eventually started playing club rugby again just to get fit, and then he got selected for Tasman and then he got selected for the Crusaders. So, yeah. We got good talent in Auckland, but for some reason the Blues scouting team is seeing something else. South Hawks, partly from what I understand, I mean, I'm not on the inside of it, but everything you hear, at least with the old farts talking nonsense, is that there's a bit of the old boys stuff in Auckland where they only look at certain clubs and certain schools kind of favourably, because sometimes it can be who you know, which is nonsense if that's actually the way it is, but yeah. Fakatava a shout for the ABs next year if his form continues. I did read something that if he played for the All Blacks this year, then he would be fine, but that residential time's being extended after the end of this year, right? And he's injured, so if he doesn't get capped, then he'll be in trouble. Like he'll have to wait. But I mean, he doesn't have to play for New Zealand. He's born and raised in Tonga, right? Old boys culture in New Zealand can be quite overwhelming at times. I struggle with it a bit as an outsider. Yeah, Simon, I haven't experienced it much because I didn't go to any of those fancy schools and stuff. But when you go around the clubs, it's definitely brought up a lot. Who's the ex-New Zealand coach that coached in Auckland School? Graham Henry used to coach school rugby. He might be the one. Sounds like the England setup. Yeah, not ideal, eh? Yeah, man, here come the Force. If they score again here, this gets to be a slightly less comfortable seat that I'm sitting in. Watch up, says Junaid in Victoria. That's troubling, guys. That's very troubling. Godwin carries up. Gets well shut down. Carney gets it to Kahui. He's like 3 meters out now, man. Come on, Blues. Oh, they've got advantage. That's not good, folks. Can the Blues blow a 28-point lead? Callan, the big number 8. Pryor, he's going to go left. Eight phases. TK. Fortunately, Alaron never went to a school that had any kind of network. You and me both. You and me both. TK, Tavita Curran's running, hit the ball at pace there. And over. That all started from Tupulotu's silly penalty at that ruck, eh? Up the Force, says Block. They're doing alright. They're not going to roll over. Be nice if Pryor missed the kick. He's nailed the conversion, so it's 28-14. Someone mentioned I'm looking nervous. Well, I'm certainly feeling a lot worse than I was at half time, that's for sure. Does make the game interesting. South Africa's also pretty bad with the old boys clubs. Seems to be a thing, doesn't it? $28-14, folks. Are the Blues going to choke this up? What are the stakes here apart from being the Blues? So, yeah, if the Blues win, they make the final. Blues just considered a penalty. And if the Blues lose, then they will be out. And it'll be the Landers against the Crusaders. Is Michael Collins a good sighting? He's solid. Not spectacular, but he's solid. Bryce Heem. Goodness me, folks. Look kind of done. I'm not loving this. Just when I thought at half time, the Blues are actually not choking. They are looking like a solid and reliable team who's doing a very good job. Yeah, I should have realized. Oh, we've won a penalty. Thank God for that. Well done. If we draw, Randy. It goes down as a 2-pointer. So we don't want to draw. We need a win. Blues haven't choked this year? Not really. No, they've been pretty consistent, actually. How much time's left on the clock, Gojira? We're at 60 minutes. I've just hit 60. So still 20 minutes to go. The Blues are still 2 scores in front. And the line-out of the Blues is just going to custard. Ruben Love is playing pretty well for the Canes, Roger. He was kind of thrust into that position when they got their 2 regular first fives injured. But yeah, he seems like a pretty decent youngster. Papali'i brings down Tamani. Come on, we need more of that Papali'i. He's our defensive main man. Oh, another Blues penalty. Take that. Was that Satutsu? Yeah, we need to get down the other end and get some points. Even a penalty at this point will make it a 3-score game again. Are the Southern Hemisphere people surprised there's only 7 Irish in the Lions squad? I don't think it's really been an issue over here. It's not really made the news much, to be honest. I guess maybe the surprise was probably more about the number of Scots, if anything. When Garden Bishop's our number 1 first 5, it's pretty easy to look awesome. Players coming off contract end of the year, Weber, McKenzie. I think Weber should probably go overseas. I mean, he did get to go to the World Cup, so he got to chase his All Blacks dream. He put in a huge shift. He was probably the best halfback we had in Super Rugby in 2019 for the Chiefs, but probably time to earn some cash, unless he wants to stay. Yeah, this time the lineup does work. Thank goodness for that. British Sky cares too much about rugby league, so you can't watch the game. Yeah, it's on Rugby Pass, I think, which is unfortunate. Trying to save up some rum and biltong for the Rainbow Cup, but this game has earned an early drink and a snack. I could use some biltong, actually, something to chew on. The Blues just got advantage. Come on, man. Give that ball to Otere Black and slot that sucker through those posts. Remember they were talking about Farrell and Itoje were playing for the Chiefs? Yeah. Yeah, I try not to do videos on all the rumour stuff, because it's just so much of it that goes on. Take the 3. Absolutely take the 3. Absolutely take the 3. Oh, Dragon Boat Festival. True. The thing that always annoyed me, Simon, about the Chinese public holidays is when it was like a long weekend, they would make you work an extra day so then you could take the day off. And that's not a holiday. Like if they want you to have the Monday off, they would make you work like the Saturday and the week after or something before. I can't remember how it used to go, but I remember it used to really be annoying. Right. 31-14 is looking a lot more comfortable. Even though it's only 3 points, that means the Force have got to score in extra time. What was I doing in China, George? I was just working, man. I was teaching English, drinking, smoking, being a 20-year-old, basically. Met my missus over there, though, so it can't be too bad. The makeup days, Simon. Yeah, the makeup days truly suck. American Blues Rugby. Yes, man, we needed that 3. For some reason, that's just... The fact that it's 3 scores makes it entirely more comfortable. Am I streaming the Chiefs game? I don't think so, Cora. I think I will... I think I will get my whiteboard and stuff ready and see if my missus needs any help with some chores, because she was putting the 2 kids to bed while I was getting the streaming stuff ready, so I'll check in on her, I think. Come on, the Blues, I have them on my accumulator, says Willie. Good reason to have them, man. They should do it for you, surely. Can I speak Mandarin? Gareth, yep, my Mandarin's pretty solid. I can communicate about most stuff. Nothing technical, but, oh, for God's sake. Our line-out is just absolute nonsense at the moment. Got 2 cents got his name because that's how much he smokes cost in China. I used to buy the 7 Kwai Huang, was it? Hong Jianlong. Red Golden Dragons, 7 Kwai, white packet. They're quite nice cigarettes, actually, to be fair. But, yeah, you can't be smoking anymore. Thrush is killing them at the line-out. Absolutely. He's having a field day. Blues line-out at half-time was like 5 from 5, man. What's going on? Absolutely. On the space tonight, Kiwi. Yep. Japan did the Sunwolves 32-17. I hope I can find a copy of that game, because it's not being broadcast here. When I say find a copy, you know what I mean. But yeah. Do I have an Instagram? I think I set one up, but I haven't used it for anything. I have been tempted to take a photo of every one of my jerseys and just put them on Instagram, because people often ask me which jerseys I have. Like, that'd be a lot of photos on Instagram. Exchange rate isn't too far off. 20 Hong Long cigarettes and 1 packet cost 7 Kwai. What does that make it per cigarette? Don't know. Russell, man. Long time no see. Oh, don't say that. Let my Blues have this one, please. Please. Looking forward to seeing the Blues in the final, Jack. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. The Force are in all kinds of trouble here. They've just scrambled it out. The Blues, if they can score a try here, then it's happy days. We've had both the trivia questions thus far, American Blues. Both of the answers were pretty much Dunedin. Only 3 broadcasters of the game, and all Japanese can't even find a stream. What a bugger. 13 minutes to go. The Blues are still in a very good position. Fat lady still ain't out yet, but we still need one more try. A couple of people are saying watch up, so maybe. Come on, Blues. Do something here. Satutu, Lamb. Oh, if that was a scrum move, that was a pretty poorly planned one. Ruru, Big Gerard, and what's likely his second to last game with the Blues. Paddy's gone close. Akira, close. Here we go. Come on. Black. Talia. Talia. I think we can probably call it, folks. I think that's probably it. If the Blues get a bonus point here, does that mean they have a home final? Alex, all they need to do is get a win. They just need to win. They don't even need to get the bonus point, just the win. So they're looking pretty comfortable. Cheers, Randy. Randy's a happy man. Oops, wrong one. But John, I do have the British and Irish Lions jersey. Yes, indeed. We did it. We did it. Joe, we're going to be in the final. Cheers, man. Indeed. Oh, what? They're checking it. They're checking it. Randy, we might be spoken too soon. They're not checking it on my one yet. Maybe they're not going to check it. Checking for foul play. What? How good it would have been to see the Blues versus the Bulls at Loftus. Oh, man, I've got to get myself to Loftus one of these days. Oteri Black is looking confused at the ref. Puts his hands on his hips. Grant, man. The Blues are 11 minutes away from heading for a final at home. Talia's eligible to play for the Box. I believe he's eligible for at least 3 places. Crusaders will still win in Auckland. Yeah, but that won't be this year. It's either the Blues against the Highlanders or the Highlanders against the Crusaders. There's no chance of Crusaders Blues. What are we looking at here? Is it this next breakdown? What did I miss? What? Are we seriously stopping the game for this? What am I missing? It's not really relevant to the play, is it? I mean, is it because he touched Pryor in the face? Because he hits... Is it because he touches Pryor? It looks like he's trying to clean out Godwin. They're checking a foul play thing from Nuia on Godwin or maybe Pryor. He probably doesn't need to go in for that one, to be fair. He probably should just leave it if I'm trying to put a neutral spin on it, but... A yellow card, what? 16's coming low. contact? Are you serious? Far out. I thought that's hard to even call that back for a penalty, and yet that's a yellow card. Bro, that's what? Seriously? It must be for the prior hit rather than Godwin. But I thought he hit Godwin on the shoulder. The touch on Pryor's face there wasn't even any force on it. It just happened to touch him. Like, I'm all for the no head contact thing, but he was cleaning out Godwin. He wasn't even cleaning out Pryor. I don't know. Okay. Fair enough. He tried to clear out Goblin, but his arm got Pryor in the jaw. The yellow's still harsh. Yeah, he kind of clipped him. I don't know, man. I think it was no arms. You might be right. Either way, it seems... I mean, to be honest, take it back to stage 1. Does he need to clean out anybody there? No. So, as bad as I don't think that was, I don't think he should have put himself to let the refs make a decision. That clean out's not needed. Just leave it alone. Yeah, there's still 9 minutes to go. Blues have knocked it on, so we'll have a scrum. Randy. What does that say? Aussie refs greater than Kiwi refs. Please Nick Berry next week. My dad was actually talking to me about Nick Berry yesterday. Today? Yeah. He doesn't mind Nick Berry. Who was the other ref he was given stick? Either way. I haven't actually seen who the appointment is. I don't think they've announced it yet for the final, but it will be an interesting one. Cheers, man. Flesh and says my self-control is great. Honestly, I don't agree with the call because I don't think he was hitting Pryor, and I don't think he hit Pryor with any force. I think he barely touched him. So I would have said it's not a normal call. How many times do you see guys get pinged for like a tackle on the guy they weren't even trying to tackle? That just doesn't really happen. So I don't know kind of where to put it in the scheme of things, but it seemed pretty incidental for mine. But the refs are under a directive to protect the head, which I don't mind. Of course, nobody wants to see guys, having brain issues in later life. But yeah, it was just a bit bizarre. And Joseph, if the Blues get the win, because of the travel restrictions and Ospreys getting COVID, then I think we travel to Italy to play Benetton. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's how it works. Angus Gardner's coming back from injury, I believe. If that's something you ever say for the ref. The fact there's no force is the reason for a yellow instead of a red. I suppose. But it just seems so incidental. Like, you definitely touch other guys on the head during the game. Right? You still touch other guys on the head. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but Yeah. If he'd hit Godwin in the head, then I would have said yeah, but I don't. I don't know. Stop talking about it. 6 minutes to go. Blues are a man down, but they should still have this one. Surely. What happened to the Blues? The Blues have by no means been as good in the second half. It's true. But they did manage to kick a penalty at least. We'll take that. Just wasn't foul play. The legal clear out on Godwin. The contact was incidental. Benetton will play at the top of the South African Conference Member Cup with the Bulls. Yeah, no, we were just joking around. Just joking around. The Rainbow Cup thing with Benetton getting through has been a bit of a... much like that incident, a bit of a hot button issue for some people, I guess. Blues seem more relaxed. Yeah, maybe. They don't seem to be at panic stations, which is good. 5 minutes to go. Surely the Blues are going through from here. Come on. Can't wait to see the South African boys get into the European teams. It should be good. We haven't seen the South Africans play anybody but the South Africans for a bloody long time. Clock is at almost 75 minutes and a half. The Blues are the ones with the ball inside force territory, so we're still going. Oh man, Kahui. Whoa. Don't be doing that. Oh no. The Force have got numbers for days. But the Blues just managed to shut that down unbelievably. They shot out of the line and managed to shut it down. Oh, what an intercept. Was that Harry Plummer? Harry Plummer, best Blues player ever. Oh, we're back for the advantage. Thank God we took the 3, says Randy. Junaid says, watch up. 4 minutes to go. Victoria also says to watch up. Well, the fact that we are down the Blues end does not bode well for the Blues right now. Even if it was serious, the Blues would still bump Benetton, which the Bulls will also be doing, says Sammy. Benetton just smashed their first 3 games, right? What was up with that? Amazed this whole tournament turns on the Oliver Fella try last week. Yeah, the Crusaders coaching staff were pretty frustrated with that, I believe. Here's trouble. Big time overlap for the Force. Is that Rob Kearney's first try for the Force? Or just first in Trans-Tasman? I still think Miozzi is the better guy for them. The Force might have been different if they'd started him, you never know. Benetton played Zebra for the first... Didn't they only get to play them like once though? They can't have played them twice in the Rainbow Cup, surely not. I haven't been following it as I should have, so... I know they played Glasgow, right? Didn't they give Glasgow a hiding? Can I say, come on, the Force again? Russell, no, man. Let the Blues have it. 31-21. 31-21. I'll update the score. Ali says, on your Carney. The Force have been a good team, more competition. They've only had the one blip. Looked like it might be a second blip at half time, but nope. Second half, they are smashing it 21-3. 21-3. Gareth asks what's the time. 78:30. 78:38. Still 1 minute left in the yellow card. Still 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the game. Oh, Oliver Fellas knocked it on, surely. Play on, apparently. What? Apparently Eden Park's turf just tripped up Kyle Godwin. Thank God for that. The referee's getting in the way. There's Plummer with the intercept. It's a knock on. Surely, that's it. God, the Blues will be peed off with the second half though, man. They've been smashed. We're going to the final, South Auckland. So does that mean we've won it? Sure, there's 30 seconds left. The Blues can't lose it from here at 10 points. Well, the Blues are going to host a final for the first time in like 18 years, man. I will be hunting for tickets as soon as they become available, likely on Monday. And the tickets will be out on Monday. Congrats to the Blues' flesh. And my one's ticked into the red. They're still playing. But lost 21-3 in the second half. Elleron, exactly right, man. You can't be doing that. That's very concerning. Take the second half for sure. So it's Blues Highlanders, cronies. Yep. It's Blues Highlanders at Eden Park next week. I'll have to take a video when I'm at the game. Take my camera or something, my phone. Because it should be a good crowd. Suck it, Crusaders, says Cora. It's going to be nice to have a final without the Crusaders. Can I just say that? Because if it was Blues Crusaders, you know the Crusaders would come up here and win for sure. When was the last time the Landers were in a final? The year they won it, Duramundi. The year they won it was the last time. What was that? Live stream from the ground? Yeah, I don't think that's allowed somehow. My one's still going. Have you guys already game over? I'm at 81 minutes and it's in the red. Blues just want to get the bloody thing out. That's it. That's it. Oh, well, they made hard work of that second half. But the credit to the force, man. They were 28-0 down, and as Elleron said, scored 21 almost unanswered points in that second half. Grant's dropped the super sticker. Thank you, man. It never displays when I click it here. Cheers. And Mapoto says, Blues are on fire. Looking at those things. Hell yeah. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. And Harrison, indeed, the Crusaders are the best franchise in a long, long time. But they're not going to be in this final. So as a Blues fan and Highlanders fans, we'll certainly take that. Give us our moment, man. Give us our moment. But yeah. Man of the match, probably Satutu. Hank's going to bed. Cheers, man. Cheers, Shane. You guys all take care of yourselves. I probably won't do the next game. I'm going to go speak to my lovely wife and see if she needs a hand with anything because the kids are asleep. So now is the time to get stuff done. But yeah, you guys all take care of yourselves. I'm going to be trying my best to get tickets to the game next week. I will probably be successful. I can't imagine they'll go that fast. If I do get to go to the game, which is, I would say, 99% sure, I'll see if I can take some video and stuff to show you guys. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Well done, Blues. Made hard work of it, as we like to do. But yeah, thank you guys. Talk to you again another time. Take care. See you. Bye.